Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Julie. I'm an exercise physiologist here to help you get stronger, move better, and live longer. You might notice that we are in a different space today. I just wanted to try something new and see how it works. And we're going to take about a minute to chat and warm up a little bit. So if you want to skip ahead about a minute and get moving, you can go ahead and do that. If you have a mat, go ahead and roll that out and meet me there. Otherwise, you can do most of these moves in bed, but some of them might be a little bit hard to do. We're going to start with, as always, a nice deep breath. We're going to breathe wide into the rib cage, breathing in, feeling that air expand laterally into the back, into the ribs, just getting those abs on and the back muscles on. As we exhale, feel those ribs coming together in the center. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in wide, and then exhaling, feeling those ribs coming together in the middle. We will start today with a classic figure 4 stretch. So getting onto the mat, onto your back. We're going to take one leg and cross it on the other knee. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always walk your foot further away from your rear, and that can help you. And what we're going to do is gently press on that knee, feel an evenness in your hips. And as we've talked about in previous videos, the theory of carrots. We have carrots digging into the earth here that are anchoring us on the back of our pelvis to keep us on the mat. And if you want more of a stretch, you're going to go ahead and pull back like this and get that nice stretch. We're going to take about 3 to 4 deep breaths in every position today just to get that nice flow. So a couple deep breaths in through the nose, breathing wide through the ribs, and then exhaling out. And a couple more seconds here. Breathing in and out. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. And exhale. Now, one that I love to do is taking this whole thing. You're going to tilt toward the stabilizing leg. So I have my right leg up. I'm going to tilt to the left, take the whole package with me, and I can get that nice deeper stretch into the hip right there. So this is a nice trick if you feel like that figure 4 just isn't quite getting it. Let's take a couple breaths here, and we're gonna get that nice deep stretch as we get into it. A couple more. 2 breaths. Here's 1 and 2. And then we're gonna come back to center. Last thing here, and I'm gonna put my leg down for those of you who are doing this stretch the other way and not folding yourself in half. We're going to take the knee that is up, grab onto it, and pull it toward your opposite shoulder like this. And that's going to help you get a little higher up in the back of the hip. So depending on where you're tight, these 3 stretches can really help you release a tight lower back, release tight hips in a really nice and gentle way. So we're going to take 2 deep breaths here as you've been stretching hopefully with me. 1. And then another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's a little hard for me to breathe and cue, but you get what I'm saying. Coming back, I always come out of stretches the way I got into them. So we're gonna unfold and then gently bring the leg down, and let's go ahead and switch legs. So we're gonna start with the cross. My socks are really dirty. Please do not judge me. Or, you know what, if you want to support me and my sock fund, I will figure out a little course to sell here soon, and I'll buy new socks, I promise. So, you know what, we're all human. We're going to start here in that figure 4 stretch. Couple more deep breaths. I'll see if I can edit them to make them look a little better, but that's pretty bad. And, you know, that's what it is. Couple more deep breaths. And then I'm going to fold myself up a little higher for those of you who are getting a deeper stretch. And we're going to take that whole system after another breath here. And we're going to tilt it now to the right because my left leg is up. So I'm going to tilt to the right. And we're going to get that nice stretch. Ooh, that feels so good. I'm really tight on this side. So take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Nice and slow. We want this to feel restorative and healing and gentle. So we have a couple different ways that we can stretch, right? This is a more passive stretch that we're doing. So we're just focusing on relaxing the nervous system, relaxing those muscles, deepening their range of motion in a passive way. And then if we want to really, really build active range of motion or our mobility, that's when we challenge it with active work. But for today, this is a non-active, this is a flexibility. So we're just working on where the joints can move to when we're not pushing them. So the other variation here, I'm going to bring that leg down and we're going to pull across, coming to the opposite shoulder, feeling that part of the back. And that nice back of the hip there, it feels so good. Taking a couple more deep breaths here, and we're almost done with the hip part. Few more seconds here. I'm going to do one more deep breath in through the nose, breathing wide into the ribs. And exhaling, bringing those ribs together. Oh, good, I had to give that one another try. So the other piece too is as you practice that breathing technique, let's go ahead and come out of it gently, out the way we got into it. So then we're going to come down here. The other piece about this breathing technique is if you continue it throughout this whole video, you should start to feel some work accumulating in your back and in your abdomen, and that's an extra benefit, a little 2-for-1 deal as I like to call it. So next we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. We're going to do this lying down. This is where those carrots do become really important because there's a couple ways you can get the hamstring stretch, and I'm sure most of you have tried this one, right? Where you just bring the leg up and you hold it here. But here's what I like to do is I will take my pelvis and send it down a little bit. I'm not arching my back necessarily, but I'll just tilt the pelvis a little and soften my knee. And through that, you can get a nice stretch into that middle part of your hamstring and sometimes up into the back of the hip where we get really, really tight. A lot of us are tight up here where that hamstring kind of becomes more tendinous, and that's how we can get that mobilized. So we're going to take a little breath here. I hope you have been breathing as I've been talking, and then we're going to go ahead and wag this leg. So I have this knee soft. If you can do it with your legs straight, go ahead and do that, whatever feels good. But I will often feel too much of a nerve tug, which is a sensation that goes all the way down my leg and into my foot if I have my knee too straight. So if you feel that, back off a little bit. You just want to feel that in the target tissue, in the muscles. Next, we're going to take that leg, we're going to wag it across gently. We're going to go one way. Notice how I'm kind of going to the left. I'm still trying to keep, for the most part, my hips anchored down onto the mat or into the bed. Then we're going to open out like that. And I'm going to wag 4 times really slowly, feeling the stretch. And the stretch changes depending on where you're moving. So I'm reaching here. We're just going to do a couple more. So here's 2 or 3. It's amazing when I'm talking, I can't count at the same time. I can listen and count, but I can't talk and count. So I might have said 4. I can't tell you if that was 4 or 5. So I'm going to do one more, crossing over and then gently opening out. Coming in and down. Now, if holding the leg is too much work for you, you can always have a pillowcase or a towel that you wrap around your leg. I've also had people use belts as well, but I find that can sometimes be a little too tough on the hands. So something gentle to hold the back of your leg if you need. And this is not a competition. We're not auditioning for the Rockettes. So it doesn't matter if your leg's down here and you feel a stretch and you need support, or if you're folded in half all the way up to the top of your head. Whatever feels like a good stretch for you is a good stretch for you. So now we're going to come up to that other side. You want to have that pelvis tilted slightly. Knee is just a little bit soft. I could have worn joggers for this video. And you're going to go ahead and take that leg and just breathe for a few more seconds here. I'm going to take one deep breath in. And exhaling out. This should, again, feel nice and relaxing just to help us unwind. And we're going to go ahead and start the wag. So I keep that softness in my knee as I wag to one side. I really feel that on the outside part of my hamstring there. Often forgotten place, but it can lead to some tension in the hips. If it's really tight, it can limit our mobility. And then I'm going to open out and get that inner thigh stretch here. You can play with how much bend you have in your knee. Just listen for that nervy sensation because we don't want to aggravate our nerves. The sciatic nerve is one of those nerves that comes down from the low back all the way to the foot. It branches off and becomes other nerves, but that nerve pathway, that journey, can go all the way to the foot. So we don't want to tug on it too much or make it angry. We're just here to kind of glide the tissue around, get good blood flow, and open up the hips and the legs. So we're going to do one more wag here. I really do believe this one was 4. We'll see when I go back and edit, but I'm not going to change it. So let's do one more for good measure, make it 5 in case I did 5 on the other side. So wagging, and again, we're just keeping it gentle and coming back. As always, we come back the way we came in. So we come to the center, bend the knees, and come down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sit up now, and I'm gonna have a little water, and then we're going to go into a stretch for the hip in a different way. We're gonna get the hip flexor in a fun stretch that I'm really liking lately. So if you wanna join me in a sip of water. If you have a pillow, you can put it under your knee for support, or if your knees do bother you, you can go ahead and skip ahead. What we're gonna do is get onto our knees. So we're gonna start, I always start in a kind of a tabletop position, and then we're going to sweep one leg forward into a kneeling position. Now, the most important part of this stretch is that we send the hips forward, so we wanna send the pelvis forward. Some people will cue to squeeze your butt, but you're gonna tuck the pelvis under as if you had a belt buckle on and you're shining it into your face or into the sun. And from here, that was my knee that just popped. From here, you're gonna lean forward. Now, that tilt that you did in your hip is gonna help you get your quads and your hip flexors. This is the same position that we do when we're doing a stretch standing, but kneeling, you can really get into it a bit more. So what I like to do is once I find that stretch, we're gonna breathe into it. On the exhale, try to deepen. On the inhale, back off. We're gonna do that 3 times. Deepen, breathing in, and deepen. Now that I'm in that deepen place, I'm gonna wag my hips side to side. If you need support or balance, you can hold on to a wall, you can put your hands down, and again, if this bugs your knees, don't do it. I'm not here to make you hurt more. Couple more little wags. This is gonna help open up. You're gonna feel that differently in the front of the hip, kind of along the side. We often can get really tight here if we're sitting a lot. And then we're gonna come back and let's switch sides. So switching into a kneeling position on the other side, we're gonna review here, tucking the pelvis under, then you're gonna glide your hips forward. So we have that tuck and the glide forward. Once you find that position, we're gonna inhale, exhale, deepen it. I'm tight today. This feels really good. Inhale, exhale, deepening that stretch. One more time, inhaling, exhaling, deepening the stretch. And then we're gonna add that side to side sway to get that stretch as I'm in that deepened position. Now I'm feeling this really loosen up, so I'm gonna go forward a bit more. We're gonna wag a couple more times. 3, 2, 1, and gently coming up. Next, we're gonna go into another stretch for the back of the hip just to finish up. So what we'll do is get onto an all fours position like this. You're gonna cross one knee over the other like this. So my legs are crossed, and you're going to push back like this. Kind of like a child's pose is this position. But you hold and breathe here. You can kind of deepen that if you would like. I like to keep my shoulders down and away from my ears just to help support the position. Couple more seconds here. Let's do one more deep breath. And as always, keep breathing as I'm yapping at you. And coming out of it, we're gonna uncross those legs, be gentle with it. Sometimes the knees can feel a little stiff, so just take your time. And we're gonna take that other leg, cross it over, and sink back into that hip, into child's pose. Now, depending on your level of flexibility, this might be easy, this might be challenging. Different for everybody. I am super tight today, my whole hips, so this stretch feels amazing. I can feel it really opening up the back of my hip, and this can help me when I feel a lot of tightness from standing or taking a long walk, and my back starts to get tight. This is a great way I can loosen up my back, and I hope it helps you too. So then from here, let's come up, We're gonna go and finish in a child's pose. So we're gonna bring our knees out wide, feet are closer to each other. You're gonna sink back and walk those hands out and see if you can just get your head to the mat. Feeling your chest reaching toward the mat, opening up the back. And let's take our right hand. We're gonna cross it over the left hand and sink back with that right hip to create length across the back. Nice deep breath in and out. One more in and out. And let's try the other side. So left arm over right, sinking back into that left hip. I am super tight everywhere today. I hope this feels good for you too. Nice deep breath in and exhaling. Let's do one more. In, breathing into your back, feeling that stretch. Exhale, coming to center. You should feel that deepening in the child's pose. We're gonna take a second and come up. Little cat-cow if you want. Just to mobilize the back and the hips. And there you have it. So I hope that was helpful for you and felt nice and relaxing. I love these stretches also as a way to wind down at the end of the day. As always, if you did like what we did here today, please give my channel a subscribe and like this video. All the comments and the feedback really help me improve. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.